Operation Sindoor also showed that the jointness is no longer something we aspire to do in seminars or discussions. It is something we practiced under pressure, and we came out as a successful synergistic organization. Chance and friction. These in-ops are often beyond the control of the protagonist. Tactical ups and downs will happen during the conduct. However, a wholesome positive end state based on our initial aims is what segregates a very successful mission from a not so successful one. And I can say proudly, Operation Sindoor was the most successful operations. The old assumption that India requires long time for decision making as also long drawn mobilization cycle to synchronize force application was quietly edged out of the window. And one could say that the adversary discovered that the India's decision making loop has become shorter while theirs became longer and incoherent. Same was true for pre-positioning and calibrated mobilization of the ground forces. The economic domain saw a slew of actions by the government which enabled us before, during and even after the operations. However, we have to be careful with our supply chains and build in resilience through Atmanirbharta, which is the only solution for the long run. Dynamic response system may be a heavy response system next time. From a short duration war, it may be a long duration war. Many business houses and academia, including research establishments, during that time even offered their research and development and underdevelopment products for employment, which actually happened. A good sign for the symbiotic understanding and growth of the defense industry. This was the track of academia, industry and military, which was truly synergized in all manners. And I must put it across here that the equipment was provided to us and say, don't worry about the cost. That we will discuss after Operation Sindoor. Together, these perspectives in time reflect the reality that modern conflict is no longer confined to a single domain. It's simultaneous, integrated and continuous. Basically a whole of nation approach. So apart from Operation Sindoor, the book also covers the entire arc from 1989 to Uri and Balakot judiciously. From assumed restraint to calibrated response to the present phase where responses are dynamic, domain agnostic and no longer predictable. We are no longer debating whether to respond, but how to shape responses without being boxed into pre-declared templates. So finally, I would like to place on record my appreciation for the distinguished team of authors for having brought out deep operational and institutional insight shaped by their diverse and rich background. And knowing the authors, I was expecting that in any case. Together, they represent a rare convergence of operational experience, strategic thought, and policy understanding. I congratulate the authors and the publishers for this important contribution to India's strategic literature. Dhanyavad, Jai Hind.